Like every year, the Met Gala is upon us, an exhibit for the latest and greatest in not just fashion, but also culture as a whole. Hosted by the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute in New York City, this gala is a jewel in the crown of NYC's social scene. The Met Gala was originally set up back in 1948 in order to raise money for the newly established Costume Institute, and also mark the opening of its yearly exhibit. It attracts personalities from all walks of life, athletics, art, business, and so on, and thus it brings us a very wide variety of people in costumes. Some display their costumes for pure aesthetic and fashion, while others have political or cultural messages to carry with their apparel, everything from racial justice to equal status for gender and sexual minorities. Some of the dresses this year were so exquisite. It'd be hard to believe someone went to those lengths for just a dress-up show. Case in point, Simone Biles, who is a legendary athlete, and to give some context into what makes her a legend, she's just 24 years old, but she's accomplished a lifetime worth of achievements, and then some, with no less than 32 Olympic and World Championship medals to her name. And not only that, but she's also the first black gymnast to achieve such a momentous feat. But at the Met Gala, she was anything but a gymnast, as she literally dragged herself along with a 40-kilogram dress on the Met Gala red carpet. And that's not all. It took 100 people 6,650 hours to make that thing. Now that's crazy. But her dress certainly shows all that hard work, with not just its heft, but all the fine details in its black and white color theme. However, what we're focused on is not these hefty, hard-to-move and mobile dresses, but quite the opposite. The athletes here who pulled off some incredible gymnastics, and that too in Met Gala style. For instance, a retired collegiate artistic gymnast from UCLA, Nia Dennis, made sure to not waste a chance to transform the Met Gala venue, the prestigious Metropolitan Museum of Art's floor, into her own gymnastics stage so that she can get a chance to showcase some of her own incredible moves. Attending the gala while donning an electric blue Stella McCartney unitard, she made herself not just very stylish, but also comfy at the same time, which wasn't just for her casual comfort, but instead was to help her perform the surprise she had to her sleeve for everyone to see. That particular dress was perfect for all her incredible moves to be executed skillfully, while keeping the exquisite looks that the Met Gala demands. With a band in the background assembled to assist her moves, she had all the tunes to dance to, and showcased her moves in a funky and impressive way. The band was playing Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk, and Nia wasted no chance to transmit into her body, and rocked the onlookers with some impressive flips of the body and vibrant dance moves. And this isn't the first time she's done something like this either. She went viral back in 2020 when she showcased her moves at the Met. That time, she did a full routine that left the audience cheering along and stunned at the same time. She called it her Black Excellence Floor Routine, where she exhibited her moves to a mashup tune mix of Beyonce, Missy Elliott, and Kendrick Lamar. Nia's gymnastics isn't just all for show though. She may be retired, but that doesn't mean she's not involved in the politics happening in the world of gymnastics. Her performances at the Met Gala carry a deeper meaning, which she's been upfront about, the fact that black representation in the world of gymnastics is not up to the mark. To put it in her own words, black gymnasts are kind of rare in the sports of gymnastics, and continued with saying, and black culture is not really recognized or known in the sports of gymnastics, so it was really important for me to bring that into the light of gymnastics, to raise awareness of black culture. It's definitely inspiring to see that behind all those impressive, jaw-dropping moves is a spirit and motivation that is more than just glamour and show. It means something to her, as well as millions from her community, and in fact, the larger community of her country. However, the world of gymnastics is much bigger than the Met Gala, and not all news is glamorous or enjoyable. Simone Biles, who we saw in that hefty dress at the Met Gala, also had a Congress testimony over the shameful Larry Nassar scandal that had unfolded in 2015. In 2015, it was uncovered that there was mass sexual abuse being carried out by the medical expert for the gymnast, Larry Nassar, who skillfully evaded accountability and continued abuse of gymnasts, many of whom were minors at the time, by luring them in and trying to conduct his abuses under the guise of medical examinations. And complaints have been heard from gymnasts since the 1990s, but in one or the other way, never made it to full-scale justice. After some public outcry by gymnasts who had suffered long periods of abuse, investigations began, and Larry Nassar finally faced justice and is now serving what is effectively a life sentence, since the earliest he would be released would be when he's 144 years old. Simone Biles testified to Congress that that apart from Larry Nassar, there is a burden on the entire system that enabled this all to go on unnoticed for so long. She was quoted as saying, "I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse." Simone Biles called for the federal agents involved in the handling of the case to be prosecuted as well for their neglect and callous behavior towards the victims of abuse. She said that the FBI were lax about this case, and their efforts relied on guesswork, not recognizing the magnitude of the issue and the kind of trauma that the victims were facing in all this. She remarked against the FBI that they chose to fabricate, to lie about what I said, and to protect a serial child molester, she told senators, continuing to ask, what really is the point in reporting abuse if FBI agents, who are supposed to be on their side, are going to take it upon themselves to bury that report in a drawer? All of these hearings have come in light of a report released in July about the FBI's conduct during this case, and their delays that led to Nassar to continue with his abuse for several months. Christopher Wray, who is the FBI director, apologized to those who were present for the reprehensible conduct and fundamental errors that were mentioned in the report, and pledged that under his leadership, such things will not reoccur. Moving on to some other news from the world of gymnastics, LSU gymnast Olivia DUNN has signed an NIL deal with activewear company Vuori, according to which she will, over a 2-year period, participate in some marketing initiatives with the brand. "Fashion has always been a huge passion of mine," Dunn said about the deal. She explained that before college, she and her coach would design their own custom leotards for all her major competitions, and that she always had a passion for expressing herself by her style. She developed a liking for Vuori because she felt their clothes to be both amazing in aesthetics but also comfortable to wear, and that she takes incredible pride in having them as her first brand partner. She also signed a deal with WME Sports during the summer too. Dunn is also very popular on her own, with 4.4 million TikTok followers and 1.3 million Instagram followings, and also a 17K Twitter following. This all is in the wake of the amendment that the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA, made in its regulations back in July in a historic move. This means that Louisiana NCAA athletes would no longer be prohibited from selling the rights to their NIL, short for names, images, and likenesses. Therefore, student athletes are now going to be able to make a profit through monetizing social media accounts, and also starting their own businesses, as well as participating in advertising campaigns, and not to mention many other potential avenues that they can take. As per reports of the valuation of her deal, it's been speculated that this deal could take a value of around $500,000, and other sources of revenue combined could render this athlete, still in her teens, into a millionaire. Roy Mahan Jr., who is an entertainment lawyer, says that he thinks that Dunn could potentially make millions of dollars from her WME Sports deal alone. He mentioned that he is aware of a college football player who hails from a small school and just signed for $2.4 million. Thus, he believes the same could happen for Dunn too. He thinks that her reach as an athlete is what's quite impressive, 5 million on social media. So given the fact that she has that kind of following behind her, she can reach a lot of people. Therefore, she could decide to endorse gymnastics wear, or sports drinks, or a host of other things. And with that, it wraps up the video. Thanks for watching!